Okay, and here we are back with a playthrough of the Dresden Files cooperative card game by Evil Hat Productions. We're going to play Stormfront, which is the first, it's first of all the first novel in the series, and so basically they tell you that you can play this as a campaign game and simply play from book to book to book, and if we're going to do this, then Stormfront will be the first that we're going to play. This is the Showdown card, Showdown in the Burning House. I'm not going to go over it at the moment because it will become clear as we play how a showdown works. So here we've got the tableau of enemy cards or things that we need to overcome. There are 12 spaces, and I'm going to shuffle the deck one more time, and then we're going to place them. Okay, so this one will have to be swapped immediately because you can't have obstacles or advantages in space 6. So this one is going to swap spaces with this giant scorpion. Okay. Oh, very good. We're going to play with 3 detectives, and one of them is Harry Dresden. You always have to have Harry as part of your crew. You can't play without him. We will have Karen Murphy, who's a detective, and the Holy Knight of the Cross, Michael Carpenter. Now, each of them has a unique talent which comes into play when they discard cards for their fate value to regain fate. And each of them has a stunt. Now, the stunt can only be played once. And you can play the talent every single time you discard cards, but of course cards don't come back. So once you've discarded a card, it's gone. You may want to do this in order to increase your currency, which is fate points. And we have 13 of these because we're playing in easy mode. And if you run out of fate points, you can't play cards anymore, and then you can't really do anything. Unless, of course, you start discarding cards, which will give you back fate points. But then once you've discarded a card and you've gained five, let's say, fate points, but you don't have any cards to play after that, you know, it's kind of like a lost cause, but you would have accumulated fate for the showdown. So there is quite a lot of strategy to this. It's not overly deep, but it is a thinker. It's a puzzle. It's like a game of patience. And in order, for demonstration purposes, we're going to, and I've played 6 games and I haven't won once. But we're going to start with the easy mode, so everybody's going to get 7 cards. Normally you get 6 cards. So, 2, 4, 6, 7. We put the rest to the side. Sometimes there are possibilities of drawing cards during the game, but unless card effects allow you to, you usually don't get to draw any more cards. So the starting tableau for each character is what they will have available during the game and nothing more. So let's see. Now, let's look at people's stunts. Harry Dresden's stunt is that as his turn, he can flip his stunt card to add 4 hits to any one foe that will be defeated by between 1 and 4 hits. So if you've got somebody who's either very low on hit points to begin with, or who has already got several wounds, and you could basically one-shot him, you can use this stunt. And it's called Blasting Rod. Karen's stunt is called Raw Determination. As your turn, flip this card over to collect 1 fate point for each foe with hits and each case with clues on it. And finally, the Holy Knight of the Cross, Michael Carpenter. He has Amorakios, and that means as your turn, flip this card over to add 3 hits to any one legal foe that has no hits on it. Then move that card to the farthest range in its row. So the ranges are from 1, which is closest, to 6, which is furthest away. And each card that you have, there are 4 different types of cards. It can be an attack card, it can be a clue card, it can be an overcome obstacle. So obstacles are these yellow ribboned ones, and then take advantage cards. Advantage cards are these purple ones. So What you want to do is you want to solve as many of these green cards, which are clues, which are cases, by adding clues to them, and you want to kill as many of these foes. Some cards have dependencies. So, for example, this card here, Who is the Shadow Man, has 2 letters on it, C and B, and it's got 2 arrows, incoming to C, outgoing to B. So this means that there is another C card somewhere here on the tableau which has an effect on this card, and the B with the outgoing arrow means it has an effect on another card, namely a card with the symbol B. And this reads, B, until this case is solved, you cannot add hits to Kaljazak, Toad Demon, which is this one above. And the C reads, when this case, Victor is missing, is solved, you add 3 clues to this particular Who is the Shadow Man case, which in turn needs to be solved to be putting any hurt on this one. So first of all, we have to decide who goes first. Now, there are different ways in which we can do this. Taking advantage cards is always a good thing because they give you an advantage. So we have one in range 1. Usually, the closer the range, the cheaper the card is if it's ranged based. So we've got beer at max. When we take this card, the active player draws 1 card and distributes 2 cards, card draws among other players. Now that's a very good thing. So we have plenty of people who can take cards. And as a card is removed, everything is moved to the left on the tableau, so things become closer in range, which is usually a good thing. So we could take this card for 1 fate, because Harry, for example, has a card that will let him do this. Nobody has any take advantage cards that have any special abilities at the moment, so that's fine. So we could say, okay, we're going to use Harry. Then we have to make a decision. Harry will draw a card. We need somebody else to draw 2 cards, 1 card as well. It can be either 1 more card per person or 2 for 1, so that's what we have to do. Now we have a tableau that is full of take advantage cards. We've got 5 of those. We only have 2 advantages, so we won't be needing that many. We also know what people's abilities are with regard to cards, because it says so on the information sheet. So Harry has 2 take advantage cards. He's already got 1 in his tableau. Karen also has 2. However, Michael has, let me see where he is. Michael Carpenter has 3 cards. So he's 2 out already. And he's got 2 to overcome obstacles, of which he has 3 in total. So, and 2 are out already. So if we were to give him a card draw, it's highly likely that we would be ending up with, either an overcome or a, so for him to draw is probably not as important as for somebody else. So she's got 2 of these cards, so we could be giving her 2, because then she will probably be getting, because her 2 attack cards are out, And Harry has, well, he's got almost all of his support cards out. So, okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is Harry's going to go first. He's going to play Venta Servitas. We're going to pay 1. This card goes away. And he's going to take beer at max and discard it because he doesn't need it anymore. And he now needs to draw a card. And we'll see what that is. And he draws another take advantage card. And then he's going to give 2 card draws to Karen. And she draws 2 interrogation cards, so she draws 2 clue cards, which is very good. Because we really need those. So now it's Karen's turn. And Karen is going to... Play Street Sense for 3 fate. She is going to put 3 clues on ritual double murder. Next up is our friend the Holy Knight. And the Holy Knight is going to use his talent, use his stunt, and he is going to put 3 wounds on this enemy. One, two, three. Harry is going to overcome an obstacle. It's not my fault, he shouts. Pays 1 fate, and Morgan is watching, is removed. This card means that every time you put, you use fate to play an attack card, attacks cost 1 more fate. So this one, since it was a stunt, didn't cost us anything, so that wasn't affected. So it goes away. Everything shuffles up 1. Also, this one gets moved to the furthest range because that's the stunt. So now it's Karen. Karen is going to keep investigating. No, she's actually going to call for backup. She's going to play this card to get speed potion. And it costs her 1 fate. It's got range too, so that worked out. So she draws 1 more card. And it is Badge, which she doesn't really need. Now she needs to take an immediate turn. And she's going to do so, and she's going to is she though? Yeah, she's going to get rid of Badge, so it means she discards it and she gets 1 fate point back for the team. Next up is the Holy Knight. And the Holy Knight is going to play Banish the Darkness. It's an investigate card for 3. And he's going to put 3 clue tokens on this, so that would bring it up to 6. So we're going to give it... Oh yeah, sorry. Karen also does something else. When she collects fate points, she puts 1 clue on the case that is furthest away from her, which she has now done. And next up is Harry. Now Harry is going to spend 5 on this soul gaze. He needs to roll 2 dice. And we get a plus and a minus, so nothing happens. So he's going to put 5 clues on ritual double murder. So we have the 11 that we need. Everything shuffles forward 1. And we have solved our first case. But we're also now out of fate. So Karen is going to discard, and she's going to discard the Kevlar vest. It only gives her 1. But it also means we put 1 more clue on this particular case. Next up, it's our friend, the Knight of the Holy Cross. We don't have any advantage cards left anymore. So what he's going to do is he's going to take this card. Faith Protects. He's going to collect 2 fate for this. He's going to turn over his talent, and his special talent is he can increase the range of one of his cards in 1 turn by 2. Now, in the beginning when I was playing, I thought this was actually not such a brilliant thing, you know. But it is, because he has, for example, the Blessing ability, or it's a card, which has a range of 2, which allows him to take an obstacle and only pay 2 or 1 or maximum of 3 fate. Now, This obstacle is very far away. We're going to wait for him to come back, and on his round, he's going to take this card. Next up is Harry. Harry's going to discard the blue beetle. And that allows him to claim 3 fate, and he can also move an obstacle or an advantage 1 space. And also Karen is going to discard. She needs to roll a die, and she gets a blank, but due to the obstacle, the blank is a minus, so she has to roll 2 dice actually, and so that cancels each other out, so we get 3 fate back. So now it is our Knight of the Cross, and we're going to play this card. It's costing us 4, and it has a range of 2, but we're going to use our talent, so we increase the range by 2, so it's got range 4, so we're good. And it allows us, when we overcome this obstacle, to add 2 clues to any cases and 2 hits to any foes adjacent to the target object. So first we're going to pay our 4. Then we put aside this card, and we're going to put 2 clues on this particular case. We can't put any clues, unfortunately, on this, because it's not a legal foe at the moment, because it cannot get any hits until such time as we've solved the case, who is the Shadow Man. But still, 4 clues on this one isn't too bad at all. So next up is Harry. And Harry is going to use his Consult with Bob card, which allows him to put 2 clues on any one case, on all of the cases in 1 row. So we pay 4, 2, 4, and we put 2 clues on this one. And then we have 2 clues on this one, so 4 plus 2 is 6. And next up is Karen. We only have 3 fate, so yeah, and she is going to she's going to discard for fate, and she is going to she wants to keep this one. She's going to discard Dead-Eyed Shot, and she gets 5 fate for it. 5. Well, not she, but the pool gets 5. And we put 1 more clue on this, and this is actually solved. And unfortunately, since we solved this, we removed 2 from this foe. Next up is the Knight of the Holy Cross. He's going to discard his blessing, and we're going to roll a die. And he gets 3 fate, and he also reactivates his talent. Harry is going to deactivate, to discard his, and he gets 2 fate for it. So now we've got Karen, who is going to is she though? Okay, so if she does this, or should we start killing people? Let's see. He can put 5, 3. He can put 5, 3 at range 1. So, yeah, but he can extend his range by 2, so he could put hits on this guy. Yeah. But for this he needs 5 fate. Yeah. She's going to play this card. And she pays 2 fate for it. Because she rolled a minus. And she's going to put 2 clues on this particular case. Then we've got our Dragon Slayer. It's got range 1, but he's got his talent activated. So it means range 3. And he's going to put 5 plus or minus hit points on this one. And it's a 0. So he really puts 5 on this. So it's a 6. Next up is Harry. Harry is going to use his ability to add 2 to each foe in a row for 4 fate. It's called Pyro Fuego. Apparently a very powerful spell. So we're going to put 2 on this guy, and this one would get 2, so it is destroyed. This goes away. Karen is going to It's all got range 1. Yeah. So she is going to risk it. She's going to take this card and play it for 5. Roll a die. 3 clues. Okay. Next up is our Holy Knight. He's going to discard the Kevlar vest because we don't have anything left that we can play. He's going to discard and he gets 1 fate back. She's going to discard, getting 3 fate back, adding 1 more. And this will bring us up to this. That is not going to help. So he's going to discard his card for the end game. We get 2 back. She's going to play this for 4 fate. 2, 4. It's going to put 2 on this. 8. So it's solved. It puts 3 on the Who's the Shadow Man card. And now we're out of cards, so we can trigger the end game. Now the end game works as follows. We have got 3 solved cases, but there are still 3 enemies left. So, and the game wins on a tie. In the end game, we can try and still win this. So the way this works is we can invest fate points to make things right. So if we were to invest 3 fate on this, we would get 2 automatic hits, but then we have to roll 5 dice. So it would be a 4. That doesn't work because 5 dice is still very bad odds. So we can say we're going to do this. We're going to pay 2 fate. We're going to add 2 clues, and then we're going to roll 5 dice. Now we would need 5 pluses to make it. This is very unlikely, but it isn't impossible. But it didn't work, so we basically actually subtracted 1. So we have lost the game, but this is essentially the idea behind the game. As you can see, it is... there is, of course, luck involved, but I would say the luck is not very obvious in terms of... It's a lot less luck-based than, let's say, the Arkham Horror LCG, where basically everything is always terrible and it's all completely luck-based. because you can see and you can plan. You have ways of manipulating the tableau. So Harry has the possibility of moving cards closer, cards of a certain type, if he decides to discard. We have with Michael Carpenter the possibility of extending the range of his cards, which is a very powerful ability which we saw. And I wasn't really sure in the beginning, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a really weird talent. I mean, why is that a talent even? But it is. And of course, we completely neglected Karen Murphy. She could have actually given us additional fate points. I completely forgot to play her her talent. So I am going to play this again. I'm going to reset it up also to give you an idea of how difficult or how long it takes and how difficult it is to set it up, and to give you an idea of how the game varies across setups. So again, this is one thing that's really important. Don't forget to use your stunts, because she could have given us at any one point the number of fate points equal to either the number of both the number of hits on enemies, but also, oh no, sorry, the number of enemies who've got a hit on them and the number of cases that have a clue on them. So yeah, so let's try this again. This is all legal. Yep. Placement is fine. Okay, so the placement is okay. In terms of none of the forbidden cards are in the last row, in the last column. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's a bit, yeah. So everybody gets 7 cards. So that's her, Michael 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Harry 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll see what we've got. Okay. So, okay. Goody. Okay, so we could use the Dragon Slayer on this guy. Then Harry, then this gets moved over here. These get pushed forward. Harry can use his. They all get 2 hits. Does she have her? No, she doesn't. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start with the Holy Knight, and he's going to put 3, 1, 2, 3 on this, and it's going to get pushed to the furthest space. Then Harry's going to use his stunt to get rid of it altogether. And Karen is going to play Street Sense for 3 to put 3 clues on Victor is missing. And the Knight of the Holy Cross is going to discard 1 card to gain 1 fate point and to gain his ability. Harry is going to Harry is going to play Private Investigator. Why not? I mean, that's what he is supposed to be doing anyway. So he's going to play 3. He's going to put 2 clues on this. So we've got 5. And Karen is going to not discard this card anyway. She is going to discard this card to gain 1 and to put 1 on this one. Our Knight of the Holy Cross is going to play Blessing. It's got a range of 2, but his ability means he can extend the range by 2. He needs to roll a fate die, and it's a minus, so he only pays 1 fate for this. This card goes away. And next up, Harry is going to play Fuego for 5 fate. 2, 4, 5. To put 4 hits on this enemy. Karen is going to use her ability, Raw Determination, or is she? She could also take a risk. Yeah, she's going to take a risk. She's going to play this card. She needs to roll 2 dice. And they come up as a minus. And at the moment also blanks counts as minuses, so she only pays 1 fate. And she's going to put 2 clues on this card. Dip. He's going to discard Faith Protects for 2. And he's going to activate his ability. Harry is going to do this, and as a result he can move one of these forward, which he's going to do. So the 3-eyed Jaguar is going to move one closer to Karen. Karen is going to use or is she? No, she's not. She's going to for 4 fate. Then he can't do his thing. She's going to collect fate. 1, 2, 3. It's not as much as it could have been, but it's better than nothing. Now our Holy Knight is going to take this card for 4 fate, and he's going to collect this. Range is 2, but he's got a special ability, so he's paying 4 fate. 2, 3, 4. He can draw 1 card, and he distributes 2 card draws among other players, so everybody's going to draw 1 card. Like this. And the card goes away, but he's got 1 special ability. Take 1 advantage, add 2 clues to any case and 2 hits to any foes adjacent to the target. So this one gets 2. And this card goes away. Next up is Harry. Harry is going to he's going to play 4 fate. He's going to pay 4 fate, I mean. To put 2 clues on each of... No, he's going to put 2 clues. 1, 2. And 1, 2. This one is gone. Victor is no longer missing, or maybe he is, but at least we know more about it. And this one gets 2. Karen. Oh God, Karen's not doing anything. Oh yeah, Karen is going to discard this for 1 fate. And then she puts 1 on this as her ability. He is going to use this card and paying 1 to get rid of this. And this one gets all pushed forward. Next up is Harry. And Harry is going to discard Pyro Fuego for 4 fate. 2, 4. And yeah, and Karen is going... No, she can't. Oh, she's going to discard 5, 2, 4, 5. which puts one more on this. Or are we? Yeah, we're going to risk it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna roll one die, and it's a plus, so we put 6 hits on this. So the giant scorpion is also removed from the play area. Okay. Next up is Harry. And Harry is going to discard, or is he? Well, if he discards this, we have 5 additional, and she could solve this one and add 3 to this. Yeah, he's going to get rid of Soul Gaze. 2, 4, 5, which allows him to bring this one forward. And Karen is going to play this card, and she's going to roll one die. So she puts 2 clues. So first of all, she plays 5 fate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she adds 2 clues to this one. It's got already 5 on it. So it's solved. I also need to discard an attack card, which I'll gladly do. This card goes away, but she also puts 3 clues on any one case, and we're going to choose this one. So we're going to put 3 here. So we're up to 6. And so that's 6, 8. Yeah, he's going to play this for 3 fate. 1, 2, 3, which puts 3 clues. 1, 2, 3. Harry is going to discard this. He's going to roll a die, and so he gets 1 fate back. Karen is going to discard this card for 4 fate. 2, 4. We're going to play Divine Revelation for 6 fate. 2, 4, 6, which solves this case because we put 5 more clues on it, so it's at 14. We only needed 10. And we have won the game because we have 2 enemies left. So that's -2. And we have 3 cases solved, which is +3. -2 + 3 is 1. So we have won by a margin of 1 point. So as you can see, you don't even have to take all of the advantages. There's a lot of planning involved as well. And of course, I was playing on super easy mode by giving myself 7 cards to begin with. That makes a huge difference. But as you can see, it is quite an interesting game. With regard to how well does it implement anything that happens in the Harry Dresden books, I can't tell you. I know Harry Dresden, of course. I don't think I've ever come across the Holy Knight of the Cross. I'm not sure if I've seen Karen anywhere. I did watch the TV series, but I've only got dim recollections of it. Also, yeah, I believe that probably this is the Harry Dresden from the TV series, whereas I don't think this is. I'm not sure. And this one, again, looks completely different. So I don't know how these, you know, belong together or if they do. But I think it's a really nice game for what it is. If you're looking for deep strategy, it's probably not your game. If you're looking for something where, you know, you really get the Harry Dresden feel, I'm not sure if you do. I can tell you one thing, the different avatars that you can play very differently because they've got very different card decks, but also very different abilities. And it is worth noting that when you decide which scenario you're going to play, the scenario card will tell you what the scenario is going to be like. So this is the scenario card for Stormfront. And it tells you it's got 4 foes. I'm just going to zoom in a little. It tells you it's got 4 foes in it, 4 cases, 2 obstacles and 2 advantages. So you're really looking for both fight and clue solving. So if you then compare it to the cards of the players, Harry, Karen. So between the two of them, they will have 7 cards, if you're lucky and if all of them come out at the same time, to solve cases. So for a high caseload, this is not too bad. But if we had more foes, then between the two of them, they would only have 5 attack cards. So 5 attack cards. So, you know, 4 and 3 would be for the cases, but only 5 for the attack. Whereas if you then look at Michael comes with lots of abilities to overcome obstacles and to take advantage cards. And if you look at Grave Peril, for example, here we've got 3 advantages and 2 obstacles. So he might be quite good at this one because you would be making most of his ability. And as you saw, we were discarding plenty of his cards because they just weren't relevant to the game. It helped us with extending his range, which became very valuable. But, you know, again, you can really make decisions based on the makeup of the case that you will be facing. And that's the idea. I mean, they want you to make those decisions. So that's why they give you this information up front. It's not something that they expect you to learn when you first play a scenario and then find out what would be the best mix. But they're actually telling you up front. So it is actually not a really expensive game. I got it and 3 expansions for, I want to say, 70 euros, including shipping. Having said this, of course, I was ordering from the UK, probably my last order ever, because at the moment, or when I ordered it, the pound was really weak because of Brexit. But since Brexit is coming soon and there will be a hard Brexit, I'm pretty sure I would have to pay import tariffs going forward, so I will not be ordering from the UK anymore. But I think Amazon also carries the game, and it is fairly, I would say it's very reasonably priced for what you get. It's a really nice game, and I like the components. I like the fact that it comes with a nice board. And you can get it from Evil Hat Productions from their web store, and even the dollar prices are very reasonable. And I can recommend it if this is your kind of game, but you also have to accept that it's a puzzle game. I can't even imagine playing this with other people, although it says you can. And there are different ways of playing it, you know, how you draw cards and stuff is different. So they've really thought it through, but I would actually prefer to play this on my own. I think to me it's really a solitaire game where you play on your own and you think and you try to make the best decisions. So that was the Dresden Files cooperative card game by Evil Hat Productions, based on the books by Jim Butcher and a game by Eric B. Vogel, or probably Vogel. For 1 to 5 players, ages 13 and up, 30 minutes playtime, and I think this is actually quite accurate. I don't know how long this video has run, but you saw that we got 2 playthroughs in very easily, and it's nice and entertaining, and I wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Talk to you soon. Bye.